Hello, welcome back. This is Awaken with Debb. I am Deborah Kaye, and here we talk about emotional things, spiritual things, shadow things, universal things. We talk about all things that aren't mainstream. We awaken to the awareness of who we are, because the more that we know who we are, then the more power we can hold in our places of employment, the more clarity we can have through dating, and we don't have to waste time on people that don't align with us, the more creativity that we have to offer to our community, to our families, to ourselves. The more we awaken to our awareness, the more we are able to establish ourselves as a sovereign being able to operate and expand within this consciousness that is community, that is earth, that is life. A lot of people are waking up to the realness of what reality is. What do I mean? How is reality not real? Reality, there's a lot of different rabbit holes you can go down on this, by the way. But for the most part, reality is subjective, and it's exactly what you think it is. It's really that simple. But it's more than what you think it is, because whatever you think it is, you're probably wrong. It's also that simple. Even myself, as I come up with these so many different theories of mixing and mashing all these different theories, I'm still probably wrong. We're not going to have it right. And as being like our human essence cannot comprehend the truth of the way things exist. That's how big it is, but that's also how expansive it is and how imaginative it can be. I truly do believe in the holographic universe, in the sense that we have control over how our life is going and what is being reflected on the outer mirror. I also believe in the sense that things can change faster than you believe. Time is not linear. And it's great to know these things, because it gives ourselves a permission slip to dream and to believe and to not hold ourselves back. It allows ourselves to get to sink into the uncomfortable feeling of going after what we want without fear. I see a lot of people that don't go after what they want because they think that they're starting too late, or they're too old, or it's going to take too long. And that's just not true. Things can change in one day for you, in one day. And if you don't believe me, go ask anyone that's lost someone to death. Go ask someone who woke up married and ended the day divorced. Go ask someone what they have experienced that maybe their life changed in one day. And I bet everyone has at least one story. Ask yourself, do you have at least one story? I have so many stories for myself, and I can pick any person that I know and look at their life, and I'm like, oh yeah, that one day was a big one for them. Everything can change in just one day. I remember through all my different stages of life, what you see now is not the person that I was. I mean, I was this as a child, but then I've definitely went through some dark stages. I was a drug addict. I was an alcoholic. I was a victim of abuse. I was promiscuous. I was really down and low and didn't know who I was or where I belonged. And each time I leveled up, I was scared, because I didn't think that I would have time to. Becoming a mother at 16, I felt like I was instantly behind the curve, instantly already at a disadvantage for a high school diploma, let alone college career, let alone being able to have the authority of control over my own life, to work as many hours as I want, to get ahead as I want. I felt very disadvantaged. And I was. But I didn't need to feel that way. And I still got my diploma, and I still got post high school education. Do I have a college degree? No, but that's because my expertise of knowledge is not found at a university. My expertise of knowledge is being a bridge between the other side and the earthly realm. My expertise is in channeling. My expertise is in, I had a really interesting word for it yesterday. Reflecting, communing with others. Oh, it is being that bridge, being that channel. My job here, people think that I've held different jobs, and you might hold different jobs. And whatever earthly jobs that we're holding at these times may not necessarily be for the earthly reasons that we're at that job, right? Like you might not be at that job to work your way up the ladder. You might just be at that job so that you can be in the vision and in the accessibility of certain people along the earth that need your vibration, that need your skills, that need your gifts. And a lot of times it comes in a hidden package. And so we have to be aware and diligent. If you're on the path of awakening, learn to read the language of the universe. And what do I mean by that? I mean learn signs, symbols, geometry, sounds. There's this scene in Transformers where the Bumblebee robot, his voice box doesn't work, and so he uses the radio to create sentences and words to communicate to the human. And the other side does the same thing. And it does take, not everyone everyone does have the ability to be a channel between both sides, but the majority of us were programmed differently. The majority of us have layers and systems that don't operate at that level yet. You do have the ability. Everyone has the ability. It's just a matter of training the ability and removing the current systems and programs that are inhibiting your abilities to dive deeper, your abilities to read the signs and symbols. But that doesn't mean that you can't learn. You can't, it's very possible to reprogram yourself, to deprogram yourself, and see the underlying program that's already there that you were hardwired with when you came here to Earth. This video is completely not the topic I thought I was starting with. This is, awakening is your hero journey. And if you'll notice, a lot of heroes in movies, they're not always a hero right from the start. A lot of times, look at Aladdin. How much shame did he feel over being a street rat? How much effort did he put into to receive validation and to prove his worth for Princess Jasmine? I mean, he lied about being a prince. He created this whole parade and swaze, I don't know. The point is that heroes often are born through doubt, through shame, through guilt, through hardship. And that's what gives us our strength. That's what's going to build your vertebrae of your backbone to help you stand tall when you're faced with adversity, when you're faced with downfalls. Who's going to pick themselves up? You are. Who's here watching this video for inspiration and motivation to better themselves? You are. Just by being here watching this video, you are already creating steps towards the thought form pendulum of what you desire. Because the more effort that you put into understanding the true sovereign being that you are, the more that that's going to be reflected in the outer projection, the outer reflection. You wouldn't be watching this video if this wasn't aligned with you. If you weren't on this journey, you wouldn't be able to perceive and watch this video. It wouldn't be showing in your algorithms. You're ready. You're ready to evolve. You're ready to awaken. You're ready to face the uncomfortableness of what it means to step outside of a life that you've known your whole life, that everyone told you to strive for. And that's hard because as we're children, we turn to our elders and our parents to give us guidance, to tell us what the world is like so that we can be prepared to step into the world ourselves. And it's completely backwards. As children, we are here to create our own worlds. Elders cannot tell us what the world is like because we are creating our own world and replacing theirs as we step into it. As a becoming elder myself, I'm not going to tell you what the world is like. I'm going to tell you how to find your own world within and how to create the world that you want. Because that is reality. That is reality. For the most part, when I think of things that I've really held deep in my soul, I've gotten everything that I've wanted. I have created the life that I wanted. Even being pregnant at 16, that was semi-quasi. It's what I wanted. I didn't want to live at home anymore. And I knew that having a, not that I was trying to bring those, let's not go there, but there were things that happened that the moment I got pregnant, I was like, oh, I created that. I made that happen. And I don't mean just like, oh yeah, biologically, of course you do that. Like, no, there were precautions taken. There were imaginations, there were thoughts, and there was one sentence and emotions. And with those combined, I saw how the effects of these manifested into reality as a physical world, as a physical human being. And that showed me my true power. I had felt the ways of the world from a witchcraft level before I became a parent. And that moment of manifesting my child completely aside from getting pregnant. And I say that because at the same time that I received a child, my sister had, sorry, sister, for saying your information. Okay, well, I could have just said a person, but my sister, someone who was very close to me, that helped raise me, had been trying for years to have a child, going to doctors, doing all the things that you're, like they spent years wanting a child, going to great extents to have a child. She now has two beautiful children. So, but when I became pregnant first, that was really devastating for our relationship and our connection. And I saw that hurt her. I'm like tearing up. It's 25 years ago and I'm tearing up over it. So, yes, it's just natural, but I saw the power that humans can really have if you understand the power, and how powerful we are subconsciously creating our life. And when I saw that happen, like, I was scared. I would say on a soul level, I mean, I just turned into survival, just trying to keep this child alive, trying to focus on building a family, doing things right, getting houses and vehicles, and never mind a career, right? Because I'm a parent. What am I? Anyways, we are very powerful. And we are always creating our life, whether you know it or not, subconsciously or consciously. And so as we awaken to the awareness of who we are, the awareness of how reality works, the awareness of what our choices actually mean, the awareness of how our emotions and our imagination, how powerful those are for creating reality. I forgot what the end of that sentence is supposed to be, but that's where we're going with all this. When we realize these things, our life becomes a beautiful life. There are things that I have accomplished I didn't even know existed as a child. Highlighting for one of them. No, I didn't even know that existed. And now I've done it. And I've taught others to do it. This world is so magical in the sense that our imaginations are unlimited. And I see the place that I live, I get to see the imaginations of people from all over the world play out, because in this vast empty space of the desert. Like in the city, all there's so much matter. There's no space for you to envision anything new or anything different. But when you get out here in the open desert, your brain does something different. Your imagination sees the blank canvas and it absorbs that energy and starts creating visions for what your life can be. And that's why I see magic from people. I mean, I've literally met thousands and thousands of people that come here, and I see that happen. I guide them through it. And that's why getting into nature is important, because you're getting away from the man-made particles. And then as you see the energy that is the earth, the molecules that do create existence, your brain and imagination can kind of start running with that and start using that as building blocks. And that's why, like, a lot of people get into skydiving and aviation, anything in the sky where you don't have the physical earth energy, you don't have trees, you don't have rocks, you don't have the man-made things, your brain and imagination start to function differently. Absolutely, they do. So the 16 minutes in, what's the message of this story? The message of this story is there is hidden powers when you awaken to the awareness of who you are. And your life will change beyond imagination, because you get better with imagination as you go. And things that you don't even know exist will appear to you as you follow your journey. It's going to be a beautiful journey. But also, if you notice, heroes don't do it alone. Aladdin had the genie. Skywalker had Yoda. I don't know movies. I'm trying to think this. The Karate Kid had Mr. Miyagi. Is that his name, Mr. Miyagi? All the heroes had someone, they had a stable presence. They had a true elder, if you would say. But these elders, they're not telling them about the world going forward. They're teaching the hero discernment and integrity, courage, and the power to feel comfortable in being uncomfortable. Because being at the top is going to be uncomfortable. Going against the crowd is going to be uncomfortable. And they're going to want to try and pull you back in, because when people leave tribes, they get eaten by lions. Your friends don't want you to get eaten by a lion. When you try to leave your social circle for the betterment of yourself, to level up, they're going to want to pull you back out of the kindness of their hearts to help keep you in the community, to support you and have you there. But sometimes your journey is different than theirs. And you may have to still separate and know that it's not thousands of centuries ago and there aren't lions out there. And if there are, you're one bad person. You can get through it. Why do I say bad? I wanted to say bad A. You are an amazing person that's going to get through it. That's it. That's all I got for today. If you stuck with this, let me know below. What are you going to do today to nurture your imagination for your future? To realize that things can happen in one night. Don't be afraid of the time that you think creating the life that you want is going to take. I have story after story after story where I have manifested after manifestation after manifestation after manifestation. I have an amazing life, and I am perfectly content with everything I've done up to now. And going forward, if this is what my life looked like I know I'm going to handle whatever comes my way, because I've learned these skills and I've learned these resources, and I have diligently had a doctorate's degree in life in many different ways. And it's your time to be a hero. Hopefully I can help guide you there. This is Awaken with Debb, where we awaken to the awareness of who we are. My name's Deborah Kaye. Have a blessed day.